Revit Mep 2022 Tutorial 13. Hello everyone, I am Gangadhar, a Bim manager. This is the next tutorial on YouTube. Please support my channel. Thanks for watching. This time we are going to talk about working with elevation. Let's move on to the next topic. Aside from the section, we also have the elevation. Let's talk about elevation. You use elevation views to show a horizontal view of a building model. From a certain point, elevation views show the levels, it shows the grids, it shows the door and the window placement and materials. Elevation views that are part of the default project template provide a snapshot of a building model for a specified direction. When you create a project using a project template, you will notice that in this project I don't have the default elevation, but just to show you, if I am going to create here, let's say a new mechanical template, I will just select here. You will notice here that the north, south, east and west elevation are automatically created. Same with your structural template, same with your architectural template. You will also notice that you can designate elevation view with elevation tags in our plan views. An elevation tag is an elevation symbol with an arrow head that is maps to wall. If you create an elevation, a wall elevation, when you place it in a view, anyway we are going to do that. Let's try to go back again to our project. Let me just close this new project that I have created. Let's create our elevation. Let's say for example, what I want to do is I want to create an elevation here, this one. Let me open my level 2 plumbing plan and then I am just going to create an elevation to this one. I want to create an elevation here. To do that, like what I have said, I am going to select here the elevation. I click the elevation and then again there are types of elevation here. You have interior elevation. This is just to customize it. Some project templates doesn't have this, or even sometimes our company project templates you don't have this. This is just a customized type of elevation. You can create an interior elevation or building elevation. In my case, since I am going to create an elevation here, that will be my interior elevation type. I am going to go ahead and select this one and let me now place it here. As you can see, as I move my pointer or my pointer that holds the elevation symbol, it automatically points to the nearest structural wall. You see, I will just create the section here that points to the right. I am going to click this one and I will just select here modify, just like your section. If you want to see or if you want to know what is the name of the elevation that you have created, you can click this portion here, click that, and then from the properties you can see here the name of your elevation, which is elevation 1-8, which you can find under the mechanical discipline and subdiscipline MEP. You go ahead to your project browser, you look for mechanical, which is this one, and then you look for MEP subdiscipline, which is this one, and then there you go. There is an elevation. Just in case you want to put your elevation 1-8, for example under plumbing, because let us say this is your plumbing area, this is your level 2 plumbing plan. What you want to do is you want to put your elevation 1-8 under the plumbing discipline. To do that, you can just click your elevation, you can open that, do not worry, just double click that, that is the elevation. We are going to modify that on later. After I open my elevation, I am going to go ahead and change the discipline here. I will change that to plumbing. I select plumbing, and what are the sub discipline that is available here, I am just going to put it under the plumbing sub discipline as well, and then I will click here apply, and you will have it's now under your plumbing discipline. And you can also still modify your elevation here. You can click the elevation, you can adjust the same with your section. The procedure is the same. You can adjust that one, can adjust it, that is your elevation. This is now the elevation that I just created, and I also changed the discipline to plumbing and also the subdiscipline to plumbing. That is why you are able to see my elevation 1-8 under the plumbing discipline, and then the subdiscipline is plumbing. Now, if I am going to go ahead and open again the level 2 plumbing plan where I created the elevation, I double click that, you will notice that for some reason your elevation symbol disappeared. Remember, I placed my elevation symbol somewhere here. If you encounter that, try to play with the discipline. Instead of making the discipline up, this is the default mechanical discipline for the level 2 plumbing plan. What you can do is you can change that also. You can change to plumbing. If you change that to plumbing, take a note that your elevation now will appear here. Same with your section there. There is no label, right? If you open my section view or my plan view where I created this section, this one, notice that there is no label yet. So, do not worry about that, because the label, the section label here, the section detail label or the sheet number of your section or elevation will automatically populate once you place the section that you have created or the elevation that you have created inside the paper. Do not worry about that labels, it will automatically populate anyway. If I am going to click this portion of my elevation, if I click that, notice that just like your section, you can also modify here the far clip offset, or you can change from here. And another thing, this is the different from section. When you click the circle part of your elevation, notice that we can see squares here. So, notice that the square here pointing to the right is already checked because you already created that elevation. Let us say for some reason you want to create an elevation here, all you have to do is click that box, just click that. When you click that, you will notice when you click outside, notice that there is now the elevation 1D. I am going to change this one. I am going to change the discipline to plumbing, and then the sub discipline also to plumbing, and then I just click outside. So, notice that the arrow will now appear. So, that arrow points now to that side because we created the sections which is this one, elevation 1D. So, you double click that, you can now see here that particular elevation, you can still modify that. You can modify that particular elevation content. If I go back to level 2 plumbing plan, let's say I want to create an elevation here to the right, to the left side. You can just click that. You can click this one. There you go. Again, the arrow didn't appear here. You can just open up that elevation, which is this one. Just change the discipline. So I am showing you here how to modify the discipline and subdiscipline. To tidy up your project browser, you can double click that as well to open the view, just like your section. You can double click the portion, they will be able to open that elevation, and then you can just modify that. Basically, that is how you create your elevation and section view. I can type WT to tile the view. It is like that. So you now have here your section and then you have your elevation. Just for best practice, when you are creating your section and elevation, you need to create a section and elevation to check specific design area during the design development. You can create a temporary section and elevation view types in the project browser to segregate the temporary views. You can also customize the graphic appearance of the text or such views. We are going to discuss about tags later on, and also make sure you provide a meaningful and descriptive names to views in the project browser to easy identify views and save time during the design development process. And another thing that I have said a while ago, doing that, spend time populating your section bubbles here with text and numbers, because Revit automatically numbers them when you place views on sheets. So no need to populate that. So don't worry about that. Correct. And also you can pin your section and elevation. You pin the section and elevation tags are in place in plan views before adding text or before adding a detailed component and other annotations to the elevation and sections. When you pin, like for example this one, this is your section. So pinning prevents the view tag or your elevation itself. You do not move it accidentally. You can click that and then you can pin that. You do not move it accidentally because it is already pinned. Basically that is our section and elevation. Alright, so hopefully you have learned something from this video. If you have any comments, you have any questions or suggestions, you can put it in the comment section below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day. I think that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you.